Hey folks, how you doing? Welcome back. It's a miffed Charlie. It is November 8th, 2023. It is now 11:40 in the morning. Quite early. I was in a better mood. Actually, I was gonna go to the Fairfax district, and then I got a text, and as soon as I saw the text, I was like, "What am I looking at?" One of my persons sent me something that I had to, what I thought I had to fill out. Another self-affidavit. What the heck? Hey, there's islands. This was another one that it's supposed to expedite. All these expediting procedures are just retarding things, just holding everything back. It seems like it's just delaying. But filibustering is kind of like what the thing that they do the best, right? And that, I mean, on being on the side. I was really PO'd earlier when I was somewhere else, and I was like, oh man. So anyway, I called my person, and it's like, well, why do we have to do this? So it's something that I have to have done so I can make an appointment to go in person to fill this out. So basically, I ended up having to give a verbal authorization, verbal answers to the question, again, where was I born? Mother's name, father's name, my birth name, the year, those basic things that were already. So again, yeah, we just did this last week. And so I did the verbal. She's gonna send it to the entity. Then the entity is going to notify me to make an appointment to go in, and on a form of piece of paper for me to sign that my verbal responses relayed to my person, relayed to the entity, for me to come in to authorize and say, yes, this is it. Dude, this is really fucking pissing me off. So I'm honestly, I'm not even gonna, at best, the first, at best, right? I mean, I know it's usually either the 1st or the 15th in and out, something like that. Or after the 7th day is configured. I don't know. I don't remember anymore. I'm very, I am so vexed by this whole process of everything. It's just really fucking with my aura. Alright, anyway, so we are now on Broadway and Orange. So Brand is right over there. This is Broadway continuing. We just walked over here. See the way this is, kind of like this? All this texture? The Beverly Center in LA used to be, when actually this was like the best looking thing. And also the Broadway Center, I think in downtown LA, used to also sport that kind of facade look. This was actually quite a popular entrance back in the day. This was actually a very, very busy entrance. Aside now from kind of a shortcut and everything else. This section of the mall was quite busy, but now it's just lost its way. This is a financial square, but this is actually kind of a weird federalish building of sorts. And as we come up, we will be going up to Central, the street that runs between the Galleria and the Americana. This was part of Macy's. Yeah, this was part of Macy's. It used to be, everything used to be so much bigger. And actually, I think the arcade, yeah, it was. The arcade used to be over here on the upper level, in the dead zone, as it were. Something about these huge monolith buildings that almost on a daily basis, and moreover, for a certainty on the weekend, people used to dedicate their lives to spending hours endless, not necessarily spending any money at all, just simply socializing. And now it's just kind of no big deal. You gotta admit, for those of you that know, you didn't even, all right, sometimes after school, right, always to the mall, nothing to do, you're bored, always going to the mall, making plans, go to the mall, in the hallways in between classes. Hey, what are you guys gonna do? Oh, we'll just go, well, I'll see you at the mall. Where? And of course, the centerpiece, the food court. What did they say? The mall was the showplace of our lives, but the mall's heartbeat was the music store. And yeah, as soon as, depending on pretty much where you entered your establishment, you would either first hear, moreover, like Licorice Pizza, Warehouse, Sam Goodies, you would always hear that tower, that little place that was in the mall. Usually it was Licorice Pizza. There was I can't remember, there was another one that had come up. And then, if not, you would probably most likely enter through the parking structure, possibly with your parents or hitting a ride with your friends and stuff like that and trying to get a parking spot. And those kind of areas were reserved for the arcade section. If it was a more prestige mall in a prestige area, the arcade would be conveniently audibly heard upon the main entrance. That way the parents can go spend money doing expensive shopping, and the kids can, well, take all the quarters from mom and dad. I think maybe there should be, if not that there is, another renaissance in malls. I think we have pretty much all have had enough of online shopping, especially when it comes to like porch pirates. The only porch pirates I experience is within the residency that I occupy. And that's about it. But other than that, I, thank goodness, haven't experienced that. As I see like on the community apps, oh, this and the Ring camera videos, and it's like, it's just so screwed up. It's just ultimately so screwed up. But look at this. That parking lot, I remember, was definitely always just packed. You always actually wanted to park in here and then walk over the sky bridge over here. That was like really cool. I truly don't remember what was over on this section. If it was the other section of the mall. And this is where he proposed would have had a good mayor. Took over and got this. Oh, I don't know where I'm going. Wow, this restaurant is really, really progressing. There's the Santa hat. Look at that. See that? It's gonna be huge. Wow. Very intriguing. Wow, could we be having a renaissance of the malls again? Oh yeah, it's Mariah season. Can you see that? Wow, could it be that the Galleria is wanting to look more like Santa Anita Mall? Ah. Now I know it's because that they have a certain look and a certain presence about them worldwide. And I mentioned the Santa Anita Mall because the first time in a very, very long time, several years ago, when I had gone in there and shot a video when it was still allowed. Oh wow, this is interesting. Oh, okay, I see. The whole mall in there was redone. I mean, the last time I had set foot in there, as well as my ex, it's still much, it had the look of the 80s. Well, post 80s, a little bit of the 90s, but very reminiscent of a good old high school mall. Now you walk in there and it's all glass and kind of metally and polished look, and very, again, that leaning towards a sterile type of environment. And it has, I think it has dim tie. And on the upper level, which is, I think, yeah, it does. It's on the upper level of Nordstrom's. And it has that really nice look. But all around, yeah, it just very fancy. If I had a mall or a small property, I would take the old Fox Hills Mall and retro-rise it, or is that a word? All the way back to the 80s. That mall was kind of a weird mall, but it was the coolest, it was the hippest, it had everything. I mean, it was just cool. Especially the Spencers back then, right? You remember the Spencers back then? Even like to the 70s, where you had to have a parent to go all the way. And in some just had a back room with a curtain on it. Oh, we got Pop Mart. There's a certain point when you're walking through an area of food and they all blend and it just smells just wonderful. We are also in had the Santa Ana winds kick in very early this morning. Oh, excuse me. I just came out of season. Had a sample Oh, that sugar. Yeah, so we had the Santa Ana's kicking in. And at the same time, that means that we're also in a high fire warning. Because it doesn't take that much. I mean, never mind, it's still pretty hot. I think it's about 76, 77, 78 right now. We're supposed to cool off. And sometime coming this week, actually later this week, getting some rain. Oh crap. I need water. Ooh, breezy. Oh, let's find a place to chill. Still, all in all, love these lights. As pissed off as I am, depressed, bummed, confused, just, I don't know. It's just a whole whirlwind of emotional and everything. I'd rather have something like this than, like, say, tomorrow when I go back to work. You know, I just, I'll get it, I'll deal with it, I'll muddle through, I'll let the, all the emotions just slowly trickle off like so much candle, you know, candle wax or oil just burning through a wick. And that's it. By this time this evening, I'll be right as rain. It's just so frustrating, you know. It's just like, again, I say, how is it that someone that doesn't have the means, that is completely on the streets, able to do this, and yet they get in? And not to make it look really bad, but all reality and all truth and everything is that they'll quickly fail within, you know, usually 90 days. Because there's nothing followed from the streets into housed. You know, it's housing first. That's the whole narrative. And that's the whole directive, is housing first. Get them off the concrete and then get them housed, and then we'll find some time to deal with whatever addiction or mental or physical ailments that person needs. Just get them off that, and you know, let's just show a good face that we're actually doing something, that we actually care. But then also, and that also mindset, you know, it just screws everything up. It just kind of shows that it's a failure. You guys are doing failures. No drinking. You know, that's all it's doing. So yeah, I guess with some of the more smarter conservatives say, you know what, don't fight it, don't resist it, let them. Let the public show and see what they really are, what they're really saying and what they're really accomplishing, which is two different things, right? It's like a one-way mirror. But so here I am again, just pissed off. All I can do is just, you know, hope and just keep doing and just showing that, you know, I'm working. As fucked up and as angry as I get at the salvo, and as much as I vent to you folks and as much as I vent to my people and get frustrated and everything, it's just, I can't let that deter me from keeping this job. You know, I've already had, you know, just a few jobs already in the time of the whole COVID and all this other shit. I don't want to do this again. I can't afford to. Now I do. I have looked into the idea of most definitely travel somewhere else, of looking for another job. Yes. Of course, I mentioned it when we were at City Walk. But the thing is also now, if it's something a little bit later, and I don't want later, but if I have to, I do have the public transportation. I do have the subways. It'd be kind of sketchy to travel at that time on the subways. You know, more later, no later than getting off at 11 o'clock, 11 or midnight, and then getting on Union Station, and then taking the other one, getting off at the Gold Line, walking about 2 blocks to my place, hopefully, and then that's it. I don't know. I'm just putting out feelers and stuff like that, but I am definitely interested in something a little more with a little regularity, as it were. So, I know. I'm hanging in there. Hang in there, Charlie. You've come this far. I know. Thank you. I know. We shall open up pop a bottle of Martinelli's when we move in. So, you folks take care of yourselves, take care of each other, but always take care of yourselves first. Love one another, trust one another, be kind to each other, help one another. Don't take today for granted or any other day thereafter. Not right now. Not right now. Look all around us. Not a moment. And if we have kids and children and family, grab them spontaneously out of nowhere. Just give them a hug and a kiss. Comments good or bad, please post. If not, email.